You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hello.
It's Niall.
Howdy.
And it's me. He's self-conscious about his levels after being too loud last week. It's Brian. And we are talking the anime that aired the 7th of June to the 13th of June, 2025, starting with YAIBA, episode 10, Onimaru's Devil Kings.
Quick hello and goodbye.
Yes. They arrive at the castle and quickly fall into a pit where the group are separated into 3 different dungeon biomes, like it's a D&D adventure.
The thing I was thinking about this, I was like, oh, that's fine. He's like, yeah, you want to skip to the end? No, you got to work your way up the tower, a lot of the video games and that kind of thing. But then I was like, I'm fine with slapping all the bones on the outside of the dive building. That's feasible in a weekend. Like, if you've got good contractor, that's fine. Those dungeons, they had to be there beforehand.
Remember,
that's the important thing.
He's hired a mad scientist.
A mad scientist can't tunnel out a fucking thing and put in a jungle underground. That's mad. You can't be doing that.
They build a robot to do it with, Dr. Wiley, he needs a drill robot, he makes drill man, and then when it's done with him, go find Mega Man for me. Oh yeah. So
I
got
like
his own
the idea.
on hand.
I do like the idea of a magician did it, a robot did it as the opposite way you could go. And we literally have magic in this, so yeah. Fine.
Robot magic dinosaur creatures did it.
We get Sayaka, YAIBA, and Mr. Sea Cucumber versus Chameleon Bonaparte, who is a chameleon dressed as Napoleon Bonaparte.
Now, that chameleon had no say in being brought into being like that. That was just a stupid pun. That's for joke that Dr. Y was fun carrying around. And everyone said, I gotta admit that. It'll be such a laugh. I gotta admit that. Give him the hack, give him everything. Yep.
He made Devil Kings based on his most favoritist characters. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Right, yes. Musashi and Kojiro, they run into a mild-mannered monkey who turns out to actually be Super Gorilla Dry, a diminutive gorilla who is also Superman. And meanwhile, I've forgotten the frog's name and the vulture's name, but Kagetora, I remembered his name. They end up fighting Master Yakitori, the anglerfish. And we know there's a 4th king, but we don't see him to begin with. It's just these 3 to begin with.
He's just sitting in his biome, was like, where's everyone? Come on, I'm on time.
Well, unless Mr. Spider's counting himself in that, because once the
Shirley actually, I think he is.
Yes,
I'm going down the hatch into my tortoise/spider robot.
He's the 4th king because he got an upgrade. Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Motion for living this long.
They specifically say it's Mr. Spider and his tortoise Europa, his Thunderbird 2 tortoise mecha that he has at the end of the episode. Before we got to that, we've got to get past these 2 fights. They got Chameleon Bonaparte is trying to get the gem more than anything else off these 2. And essentially, Mr. Sea Cucumber has to be the one to come up with the plan to fight him and lure him into a trap. And then you get not only can he turn himself camouflaged, he can also turn himself into people. And now we've got 2 YAIBAs. How's Sayaka going to solve the problem of which YAIBA is which? Well, she gives them a maths problem. One of them gets it wrong, one of them gets it right. She hits the one who got it wrong and then accuses the one who got it right with the Conan sound effect of being Chameleon Bonaparte.
It makes sense that Mr. Cucumber had to come up with a sneaky plan because, no offense to Sayaka, she's not particularly sneaky, and obviously YAIBA's not fucking sneaky at all. He uses his I'm going to sense where you are even though you can turn invisible, but the chameleon has made a pile of fruit shaped like a chameleon in order to distract Conan. I'm calling him Conan now. Fucking hell. YAIBA.
Well, same voice, but different voice. Meanwhile, Kojiro and Musashi are fighting Super Gorilla Dry, and Kojiro's like, hang on a second. All I want is that sword.
Why am I helping Musashi again?
Also, he keeps on copying me.
They're copying each other's intro, kind of stepping on each other's thing. It's like, wait a minute. Why am I here again? Oh, I'm going to turn on them. So now's the good time to just step to the other side. And now I'm on the gorilla's side. And the gorilla's like, oh, cool, okay.
And then he accidentally beats Dry, and then pretends that was his plan all along to Musashi. I was just pretending to be on his side. So
when I said, finally, I've taken my my opportunity to betray you and steal the sword, I was like, that's so I could sell it to the gorilla. And Musashi's like, yeah, fucking good plan, actually.
And we've
good
seen
job.
He's sort of going, right. I think he's not fully, like, you know.
I mean, like, he's generally a suspicious old man.
Well,
so, yeah.
yes, they're surprised because we've seen the chameleon shrink down to a normal-sized chameleon. But now we see Dry, rather than shrink, he grows to a full-sized jungle gorilla, like from episode 1.
Yeah, I think in this world, like, gorillas are all mini King Kong size, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be like the old sort of D&D monster, the white ape. So I assume it's like a mythological. It's like a fictional. I saw a gigantic ape in that mountain, honest mate. Type situation.
I don't know. This could be a very tough jungle. They have to get that big.
So that cuts off there, and then we see the fight with Mr. Yakitori, where Kagetora gets eaten. So his plan is, well, you eat me, I eat you, and starts to eat Yakitori from inside him.
Yeah. Luckily, everybody else hooked up because YAIBA and company ran into the gorilla. YAIBA speaks to gorilla, so he's able to kind of bust through this wall and help us, and then you give him directions home.
Yeah,
the jungle is that away. It's just like
we learned that YAIBA speaks Animalese, which apparently is the unified language of all animals, which I guess makes sense because the vulture and the tiger and the frog can all understand each other. So
the frog, but the frog can talk to people too. I mean,
he can. He can also speak to the animals. But yes, there's one more Devil King. There's Mr. Spider with Tortoise Europa, which is a Tatsunoko-style animal mecha, which they defeat it by flipping it over, but then it turns into a spider. Kumonga Z. And then they defeat
it's okay. Yeah, the guy was just like, I'm gonna stop it on my feet, but YAIBA is very handily, just like, it isn't so bad actually. No, but it looks very impressive, but it's actually not that difficult. Shao, away with you.
I did like the kind of turn from like the turtle thing where Mr. Spider is like piloting with like 2 of his many arms folded because he doesn't need the full length of arms to operate a spinning Gamera type turtle. But then when he's operating as a spider, all his limbs in function and he actually tangles himself up inside.
No,
I was like,
serious.
Yeah. He's actually got all hands on deck. Yeah, it's good.
And now we're back face to face with Onimaru, exactly where we were at the start of the episode.
But now it's almost like again.
It's almost like none of this mattered, except that we had a good time. So that's the important thing.
We had a good time. And Chameleon Bonaparte is such a great name. It feels like something out of Archie Comics era Turtles.
Yeah.
In terms of a name. And also, it's the sort of pun I wish I'd thought of when I was running superhero games.
Well, aren't those like frog dudes from the bayou, and aren't they all like
one of them is
puns
Napoleon?
On,
yeah.
And they're all puns on old fucking warlords.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, it's really good. it's a good, like, and again, because it puts on along at a good clip because it's divided into like these 3 stories and we can cut back and forth between them, kind of thing. Yeah.
It also made me realize it's great adapting a comic from the late 80s in 2025 because it means I, a middle-aged man, can get a lot of the references. Because I was like, when they literally got the Thunderbird launch sequence with the paintings,
and when he's going down the slide, or like the Superman spiel that is generally only invoked to be very, very retro, but from a gorilla, obviously. Yeah.
Then it's a double bill because this week we got some Canon Conan. This episode is called
episode 1164, The 17-Year-Old Truth, the Bloody Night.
Yes, we're getting 4 episodes of these.
Wow.
Which, given that Conan has already solved this murder at the end of this episode, I assume a bulk of these episodes is going to be explaining the flashbacks what we get throughout this one. We start off before the credits. Rum, in his disguise as the sushi chef, is poking around the detective office looking for Conan, but he's told he's at a chess tournament with the boys and the teachers. And this hearing about a chess tournament makes Rum nostalgic for murder.
Yeah, like he's just kind of like plying your man because he's kind of like, oh, I've ordered sushi to celebrate, like making a bunch of money, taking pictures of a cheating wife or something like that. I don't fucking know, like a general detective work. And he's just like what can you tell me about it? It's like, oh, they're playing some game that's kind of like shogi, but like it's like a Western shogi. You know the one, you know the one. It's like, and he's like, interesting, and that teacher's there. Zoom in on his lack of eye. A lot of zooming in on people's lack of eyes in this episode.
There's a great bit towards the end where one person has a flashback and it zooms out of the flashback into another person who's also having the same flashback.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you know that it was the same two people in the flashback.
Yeah.
Then we get the credits. Then we got Shiratori. Detective Shiratori is at this chess tournament. He's been given a night keyring by his girlfriend, Kobayashi, the non-suspicious elementary school teacher. Meanwhile, the suspicious elementary school teacher, Ruby Wakasa, is asking Ai how she knows so much about chess when you're only like 6 or 7 years old.
I think Conan's excuse is the professor taught her. He's crazy about chess.
Yeah, because she's asking about family members. Did a family member teach you? And then the 4 people who are obviously going to be involved in the modern day crime all show up and get their introductions. We've got Shiroi Karumi, age 31. She's got a perm, she wears glasses, and she has a rook keyring.
They're all going like, "Oh, you've got a nice keyring. I've got a rook keyring because it makes me feel like I can be direct and it gives me confidence."
Yes, there's Ogawara Kinji, age 38. He's got a mustache, a mullet, and he says, well, my good luck charm is this glass engraved with a K for king, because Ogawara means king, or can mean king, and he drinks iced tea out of this glass while he's playing chess. We get Kishitani Naoto, age 32. He's got bad skin, and his superstition is that when he's playing chess, he turns the knights to face towards him. His knights, obviously.
I've got social anxiety, so if the horses aren't looking at me, I get nervous. Is the thing he says, which I was like, if a horse looking at me, I'm fucking nervous. Yes. I don't know, man. You haven't been around horses enough.
They can't be trusted.
And then the 4th guy has no, he's like, you suspicious people, it's all in the brain. Chess is a game of wits, and
he's got a bleached blonde haircut. He's the bad boy at chess, age 32.
He's got a leather jacket as well,
Yeah, they mentioned that a guy called Sasa Ryuichiro last year had set his ringtone to Amazing Grace, and it went off during the tournament,
which put him out of the game.
And then something else happened that they don't want to talk about. It's hinted later on that he died. There's like one line suggesting that he died.
Because you don't know what happened to him after. Like, says you're one, I think she mentioned it. And everyone else is like,
Yeah,
I don't know. You haven't explained what happened.
First round of the chess tournament, Shiratori ends up facing Kuroda, the head of the police detective department.
Coincidentally, he loves chess. So
he loves chess, and he's got one eye as well. The kids aren't allowed in, to which they're like, wow, why do we even come here? And then the Amazing Grace ringtone starts playing during the first round, and they find an abandoned phone hidden behind a curtain. And he loses the game. And then he realizes, oh no, I've lost the keyring.
My girlfriend's gonna kill me. I think it came out of my pocket when I went to the shitter, like when I had my handkerchief come out or whatever. Like, and I was just like, yeah, that seems likely.
Kuroda thinks he's met Ruby before. She says, yeah, we met at this other case. And he's like, no, I'm sure we met at an earlier chess tournament. And then we get a little bit of a flashback, just a tiny bit of the flashback. At this point, if you know earlier flashbacks, I think you know what all this is referring to. But I'm sure it will all be spelled out as we get the full story later. Kishitani, meanwhile, is in the restroom after getting an anonymous message on his phone. Then we see a crossbow bolt in the wall, but where the other 3 contestants who we've met
because they're hanging out of the vending machine, and we hear a very distinct sound effect of shunk, and it was just like, and they're like, "What the fuck was that?" It's like, I don't know, the wind or something. And I was like, "That's a fucking crossbow bolt. I'd recognize that anywhere." And then camera pans to it.
Then Ogawa is in the I would say restroom because that refers to but the waiting room for the tournament with
in between rounds and stuff.
And Kuroda, and the crossbow bolt destroys his glass. And they're like, where did that come from? They see the doors ajar. They think it's come from there. So Kuroda runs off down the corridor with Conan, and Kuroda at this point is absolutely fine with this child helping him pursue a murderer.
Like, Conan runs out first, and he's like, I guess I better chase the child. Conan spots that the slippery when wet thing is different than the one at the entrance. So he's like, someone put that there. That's because it's different than the regular.
Yes, they brought their own slippery when wet side.
Yeah.
They go in the bathroom and they find Kishitani sat on the toilet, but he's been shot in the chest by one crossbow bolt and both his legs by a crossbow bolt.
It seems excessive, but maybe they really wanted to make sure they hit him. It's like, I'll pin him down with the legs.
Well, they explain it later that they wanted him to bleed to death in the bathroom.
Yep.
So basically just making sure to change. They want to make it look a suicide because they left the crossbow there as well. Also, Shiratori's keyring is by the body.
Because we did, when we saw him in the bathroom, he did say, "Oh, that's your man's keyring," because they did all that stuff with all their good luck charms earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yes, because he found it, yes. Shiratori, meanwhile, is in the stairwell, and we learn when he's just found there why he says he was in here because he was ringing his butler. And I was like, I'd forgotten this detail about him, that he has a butler. And like, what else have I forgotten about Shiratori's back? Because when he starts off, he's like quite a stern character. He's like a very stoic detective. But I think they gradually fill the details of his personality, and once you get the romance, he kind of opens up as a character.
It softens him and everything. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd forgotten a butler was involved.
More detectives have butlers than you think, weirdly enough.
Seemingly so. So he was in the stairwell when the murder happened. So our suspects now are Shiratori and the 3 people, one of whom assumingly did it.
I like the way your man was like, well, how could I have done it? Because I got shot in the hand with a crossbow bolt, and I can't really have shot myself in the hand with a crossbow bolt. And Conan's like, but we might find a self-triggering device later. And I was just like, that is so, like, I feel like he should be very low on the list, at least. I mean, like, it could be him.
It could be him, particularly when one of the clues we get at the end of the episode. Saki has a tear on the back of his coat, so they think that he might have been shot. They later discover the bolt in the wall, don't they? They don't know about the
near the vending machine. Yeah.
The phone that Kishitani had has gone missing, so the murderer's taken that with them. So Shiroi was in the women's bathroom alone when the murder happened. Ogawara also went to the loo, and he said there was somebody in the cubicle. Nobody else says the slippery when wet sign was there.
Yeah,
they say that was missing. Then seeing they turn the Conan asks to see the keyring again. He turns it over and he sees it's bloody on one side that they hadn't seen when it was on the floor. And this because now all the other cops have shown up to actually investigate it. And this causes Kuroda to have a flashback, which is where we get the flashback, which it starts with in Kuroda's eye and then comes back out of Ruby's eye.
Does it go into their lack of eyes as well? Is the other thing.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it like zooms in on their non-eye to go into the past and zooms out of her non-eye.
Yes,
I think
it's like
that's the order of it. Yeah.
Rum's got the medical eye patch. Kuroda has the blacked out part of his glasses, and I think Ruby just has like
a glass eye or something.
A glass eye, and then it's normally, particularly in the anime, it's shot.
The glasses,
so the reflection is bouncing off that lens, so you can't see the eye.
It's like her, because it's a glass eye, it's extra reflective underneath her glass lens. It's not nonsense, but it's a nice visual.
Luckily, this guy, as he was dying on the toilet, has left us a dying message in the form of a crossword / chessboard clue.
I thought I'd have a fucking shot with this. I was like, oh, chess, that's a game I fucking understand. And it's like, yes, the knight does move like the knight in shogi, except in every fucking direction. Yes. That's going to be key. I see. And then it puts a crossword in. I was like, I'm fucked. That's it. No fucking.
I think he's just using that as a. I think the crossword is just because it's an 8x8 grid.
It's the chess grid.
Yeah.
I assume there's going to be puns in it though, like some play on words or double meaning that I'm just like, I'm not going to get that.
Meanwhile, the kids have found glasses cases in the bin, 2 of which are duplicates, and 1 is full of glass. And Conan's like, I've solved it. This is all I needed to solve it. I was like, good for you, Conan, because I ain't got a fucking clue.
Just showing off. Maybe he's just saying that. Look tough for the rest of them.
Meanwhile, after the credits, Rum has taken his disguise off, got in his swanky black car, and showed up to the chest door.
He's smoking up a storm, like he's hotboxing himself in that fancy car, basically, yeah.
And if you watch the next episode preview, you know what he's going to be up to. Nothing good. I think whenever he's got the disguise off, he's up to bad things. Whenever he's got the disguise on, he's actually quite nice and will help the other characters out.
But he is sneaking around trying to get information out of people. Like that's the negative part of it, yeah.
Yeah, good episodes. I'm curious where it goes with the flashbacks. Then I'm going to leave a little bit of empty noise space so I can get rid of whatever noise has appeared on Niall's sound.
Yeah, something here was really fucking like making it crank. I don't know why.
It sounds like a Hoover in the background.
Like the fan is just going nuts. I don't know what's doing that. What the hell is going on there? Is it a fucking desktop recorder doing that? That wouldn't fucking crank it that bad. Well, Jesus.
No. Surely not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why it's doing that. Is there something blocking it? Sorry.
That's all right. Let me just write down 22. Right, there we go. And on to Kowloon Generic Romance, Episode 10. Episode 10.
Come on.
I'm off my list. Yeah, I see it now.
Oh no, sorry, I've leapt ahead. Sorry, no, it's my fault. It should be Anne Shirley, episode 10. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I thought maybe things were in the wrong order. My bad.
No, don't worry. I'm in the wrong order. I don't know what lies around the bend, but I'm going to believe that the best does.
There's a lot happening at once here, Anne.
Yeah.
Like a Mario optimism.
That is a shitty summer holiday, to put it mildly. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Matthew picks up the morning newspaper, reads some incredibly bad news, and then drops dead.
Like that's just rough. That like there's no big we can have like like extending this out, but I suppose he had that written all over him, and he came home and saying, "I got the scholarship, just like you said I would, Matthew. I'm sure I know you would." And it's just
yeah.
He was done. He was marked.
He got to say how proud he was of her before he died, which is good because at least she has that.
Yeah, it's rough when they call everybody to get everybody in. Fucking Mrs. Lynn is just like, there's no point getting the doctor, folks. He's already gone. It's just that's it.
The wake felt very Irish as well. That might be just like a combination of Scottish and Irish ancestry. With there's a lot of Scottish ancestry in Canada, isn't there? I think there is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But
for Nova Scotia, like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it was just kind of like people just barely holding it together, and just going. Diana kind of going like, "Hey, do you want me to stay the night with you?" It's like, thanks, Diana. I gotta sit this one together because I need to like bring it up in my head that he's actually gone because it feels so weird that he is.
Let some shit out.
Yeah.
But it's just like what about that from Marilla? She was the tough one, and she's taking this like super fucking hard. And
yeah.
And they're kind of account like, oh, and remember when you fucking came here and you fucked up this and you fucked up that. It's just sure that's nothing. No, we're laughing about that. No, that was very little things, and like I don't know how we'll gotten this to this without you, and even after all that, I'm glad we're here. It's just
What's worse is Marilla still has to go to the
eye
optometrist,
doctor.
the eye doctor, the eye specialist that's shown up on the island. And the eye doctor said you're not allowed to do needlework, reading, or cry. These are things you're not allowed to fucking do.
Any of the stuff you like doing, you can't do it.
I mean, our brother just fucking died, man. Like, that's a shitty thing to say. That come on, like, just submerge your head in a bucket or something. Like,
Yeah, I feel like it's inaccurate science at the time. It's probably being
probably,
overcautious.
but like to be told that is really fucking hard. So it's where Anne kind of resolves. It's just like, and because again, she sees him talking to who's your man, the fancy dude with the mustache. She sees her talking to the
Mr. Sadler.
Mr. Sadler. He's looking to buy the farm, and it's kind of like, no, I'm not going to take up the scholarship. I'm going to teach in the next town over, because obviously we got Gilbert is teaching in this town, but I'm going to stay here. I'm going to mind you, and everything will be cool. And
but the scholarship, but
you're sacrificing so much for me. And it's like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm doing right by you. You guys did right by me. This is like the right way to be. It's nice. It's emotional. It's really well done.
And she still gets to teach. And one good turn deserves another. Gossiping about to hear Anne get a whole scholarship. She wants to go teach over in the town, in the parish over. I'm saying, this is how far to go now. And Gilbert is just like, here's this. He just tugs the peak of his cap down. They say, oh, Joe, did not hear Gilbert. He's like, he's going teaching actually over in White Sands, and they're looking for somebody for Avonlea School now. It's like, but Gilbert, why would you do that? Like, if she signed the papers now, so it's a done thing.
Yeah.
And she just goes off and I go talk to this motherfucker and tell him, thank you, I'm sorry for being such a stubborn little fecker all that time ago.
Yeah, she manages to open up to him because he's like, I hope you can forgive me for being a bully, essentially, when he was a little kid. She's like, I forgive you when you saved my life from drowning that one time, and I've been sorry ever since. And it's like, okay, we're going to be good friends. You can't deny fate, Anne Shirley. We were destined to be good friends. And then they're talking in the garden for half an hour, and Marilla kind of going, it's like, you fucking talking to your boy? Ooh, she's actually softened like quite a bit, because I think she's had to, because this huge emotional thing of her brother fucking dying.
Even Mrs. Lynn says like, Murdoch Cutthroat to have gone pure mellow.
Yeah. There's lots of very quotable bits in it. I like when Anne kind of runs off and you once kind of saying it's like, oh, there's a bit of a girl about her thing, and Marilla going on is like, no, there's a bit of a woman about her too. And I was just like, yeah. It's a good book, would you believe?
The reason why these things just fucking keeping it's an Anne of evergreen hit.
Yeah, and that's the first book taken care of, so we're on to the next one next week.
Yeah, there was some concern. Like, I just want to kind of just ram in. There's just the remaining revision to the remaining batch of episodes. I think they did notwithstanding kind of some funny times it leaves off and saying, "Oh, Match is collapsed in the hallway," but he's fine by the start of the next episode. So it's like, okay, we're just gonna put her on from that. But that's I guess kind of the way of things in that time in that part of the world. And saying, "Jay-Z an awful stir, but sure, we gotta bring the cows in all the same. So someone's gotta do it." But that's from neighbours' help, and
yeah.
I don't have as much fear this is going to be as brutal with the things it has to cut out for speed as Go Loser Ranger this week.
Yeah, there are some things here.
Yeah, I think they'll cover the bits of the book that they. Yeah, I think they'll cover the bits of Green Gables, the sequel that they want to do, like particular scenes and stuff, because you see like Anne teaching and just like all the nonsense with that, and it was like, yeah, it's going to be a different time of her life. She's a grown woman now. She's 16 and a half, as she says. So.
Like, get out there and make a living for yourself.
Yeah.
The makeup with Gilbert is very well done, and also very well shot with the using that bridge again.
Yeah. It's weird actually that it works quite well as an emotional scene when there's so many different emotional scenes in this kind of thing, but it's a thing of like there is hopefulness in it, and you get that with the and her guardian's relationship kind of growing and maturing, and it's just really good.
Yeah, and the landscape is also just like part of the character of it as well. And I'm going to miss like having like here's actual background work rather than like some of the very kind of austere urban environments a lot of the things we watched were set in.
That's true, yeah.
Then we got Gag Manga Biyor Go, episode 10, The Narrow Road to Oku, The Last Spurt, in which Basho is given a new disciple. The poet Tachibana Hakushi is going to replace... God, who's the old disciple who was trained?
The guy with the hat. I can't think of his name. Yeah.
It's very funny how it just is. Sora is the apprentice.
Yeah, so this apprentice has apprenticed the new apprentice a little too well is the main problem.
To the point where it basically just turns into a horror movie of this apprentice trying to hunt Basho down in the woods by the end of it.
Because he's like, if he says this, punch him in the gut. If he says this, slap his fucking face. Like if he fucks up this thing, like you get him on the straight and narrow, writing a proper fucking haiku. And to the point where he is chasing him like mindlessly as a automaton.
Yes. Recite a poem, master.
I'll count down from 10, 9, 8, 7. It's like, why are you counting down? Like them lying down, and he's just like, man, I gotta get rid of this fucking disciple. And the disciple looking at him in bed. 9, 8, 7.
Because the Mongolian chops a rock, thinking it's Basho's head, and breaks his hands. They're all bloody.
He breaks his hand. They're bleeding, but he's still searching for him. He's like, master, where are you?
But then he realizes, you'll need your basket and your umbrella to read a poem. I'll go and fetch them for you. Only take 3 days. And then that causes Basho to run off. And it says, onlookers said it reminded them of a middle-aged man running for his life.
Turns out his first disciple was there anyway. He was just like, I got better. So I said I'd come ahead of you. Let me see your poems. Let me see. Have you written any poems? These are shit. What the fuck?
Yes. I believe this exists because Tachibana Hakushi was the real apprentice of the real Basho.
Was he really violent? Is the question.
This is defamation.
Then we got Kowloon Generic Romance episode 10. Episode 10. This is the first episode because someone had told me in the past week on Discord that it's essentially doing a volume and episode, which is not quite doing. This is like partway through volume 9, whereas this ends. But this was where I was like, I'm feeling the compression a little bit because that magic glasses thing seems to come out of nowhere and feels like one wrinkle too many at the speed it comes in.
I think it kind of works in one regard of it. Like it's I know its purpose is literally to fucking get it along, but it's like, okay, we're giving you hints as to places you need to go investigate. Chop, let's fucking go. So they see a place, the guy's like, okay, we should check out that part of town, see if we can find out thing. And I was like, yeah, okay, that moves along. It's a little clunky, but like as a weird thing in this weird fucking town, it works.
I'd say I wasn't too like perturbed by it now. Like maybe it's also something that the authors felt they needed to put in themselves to try and like get it on anyway. So whatever time it showed up is probably going to seem a little jarring. But that's the idea of one thing. Is when Reiko's very jarred by one thing. Don't describe what you're seeing. What are you seeing there, Reiko? I'll write it all down. A hand.
Because it's random flashes as well. It's not like a whole scene playing out. It's like a specific instance of a memory. I saw a cat. I saw a thing.
Yeah. It just kind of flashes by and just reminds you. I think this is Kujo IB. So you say sure, and it's just like always wonder. It's like Kudo going in for the smoocher fun, saying, "Yeah, it's definitely hers."
It's leading them to these talismans, and then she starts putting the talismans off, and a bunch of them have got computer error messages written on the opposite side of them.
That's so fucking good and freaky. Yes. I did like that, And she has to look up the codes for that because she pulls off like 20 or something like that. Where she's pulling them off and goes like 4 or 3 forbidden. Is 4 or 3 forbidden? I've forgotten my fucking
4 or 3 forbidden.
403, and then the other one is a 202, I think, is the other.
202 accepted. But it's after she asks a particular question, so it's nearly like fortune fucking telling. But it's like that would have had to been put up beforehand. So
But the one she found, the 204 was outside the real estate office. So it has something to do with her workspace, and probably it's something to do with like, well, this is someplace that you go. I'm just kind of thinking about like, if these things, if people in here are just things on a database, does she correspond to something?
Like there's physical code.
Yeah,
there's physical code written around town. Yeah.
The visions through the glasses start after she's been to the bad side of town, where Kudo feels like he has to go and rescue her, even though she's perfectly fine.
Well, they're very nervous, kind of heading there. I did appreciate that her friend kind of goes with like a frying pan. It's like, I'm gonna fuck up anyone who tries to mess with us.
Well, yes, later when they go back and they run into Xiaohei, who the original, but to us second Xiaohei, who has been
Xiaohei in the waistcoat, not Xiaohei in the. Actually, no, he's still wearing a petticoat. So
yes.
bigger Xiaohei. That's the way to go. Yeah.
Yulong just feels like a villain at this point.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting where he's like, well, you could just kill her because it doesn't matter. He's like, nah, man, I met her. Like that would be weird. Like she's a fully person to me, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Just fucking kill her. And he's like, I give you anything you want. I could shrink you into a little girl again. How would you like that? He's like, ooh, I would like that though, but
yeah, there's like a thing there, like something like I overlooked it instead of laugh and saying, wait a minute. If there's two Xiaoheis here, how are they not like annihilating each other?
Yeah, when Xiaohei has that conversation with Gwen, because he's trying to avoid Gwen because Gwen knows who the fuck he is, but like he's kind of like, oh, you're very observant, Gwen. And Gwen's like, how the fuck are you here? And other Xiaohei literally just ran by there, and he's like, okay, you're not very observant, Gwen. And I was just like, so what has he done to be different enough from himself as a little girl? I don't know yet. Yeah. I guess we'll find out, but yeah.
Is that some way to trick this thing to get in and out? I don't know.
Yes, that fits into like all traditional things, like the way you'd have guys who make poutine who disguise their sons as daughters and their daughters as sons to trick the fairies, kind of thing. If you flip genders, it messes with the fucking program. I don't know. There could be something weird.
I guess it was just producing error phone saying doesn't match like current the person who lived here 3 years ago. So
if Xiaohei marker M enters the thing, it doesn't delete Xiaohei marker F. That kind of thing or something like that. Yeah.
I think we find out next week how the rules work.
Yeah. I have to think like the rules are different for every fucking character in this fucking thing sometimes.
But also, I think we're not supposed to find out the rules by the last message that she finds, which is, what did I write it down here?
Stop looking for this.
Yeah, don't look for it anymore. And then we get a hard cut to the diamond after that. The big diamond.
No code, just a serif font of just like, stop it. Stop fucking doing this, like a direct fucking message.
And then the cut to the diamond makes you think, oh, it's that thing talking to her. And then the credits run, and then after the credits, other girl
Yao Mei
eats a chocolate and remembers.
Because Yao Mei's kind of been going through her own shit in this episode where she's like, man, I wish I could get a hot boyfriend and stuff. And then she's meeting Xiaohei and go like, whoa, is this romantic? It's like, no, dude, he knocked your ice cream cone on the ground and was very rude. But it's like, is he trying to mind my figure though? And so she hasn't eaten. So she's got a sweet tooth by the end of the episode, eats the sweet that your man gave her. And then it's like, oh, fuck. Like,
what's interesting is that the food from the
outside
Kowloon will make you forget. Outside food make you remember.
Yeah, I think when actually I guess when she was talking to your man, she had been eating like food in Hong Kong for a while because it's her kind of going like, yeah, it's always summer there. I never really thought about it before. Now that you mention it, so yeah, it's. That's the way it kind of gets you into the program. But again, that doesn't explain, as Gwen pointed out, why your man seems to know what's going on, yet he's constantly eating the Kowloon chicken and whatnot.
Oh, kudo.
Yeah.
It's like a really kind of like a freaky effect there when the vision is in the glasses. They're just out on the balcony, and then Kudo opens the door. He comes in. Oh, it's a Kudo, but then it's overlaid with like a vision that happened being him because
Because actually using the glasses as like frames for nearly panels in the vision, where you just see like this like two sides of a 3D glasses kind of thing, but seeing that overlaid over her actual vision as well. Yeah.
He still seems happy to see you here, but then in the glasses, it's like still happy to see YAIBA, but in a different way, and it's like
his expression is different. Yeah.
It helps get fun. It's still inter again. It's just like when being around Kudo as well. Is that just again falling into the pattern? Am I being my own person doing that? And am I hurting him? Like.
Yeah.
Because it's going to suggest that maybe it's best like to not be around him, because if he keeps like kind of going off into these weird moods, like from being around, as much as he like wants it from Biyor as well, he can't let go of this.
Yeah, he's definitely trapped in a holding pattern of his own making as well.
Yeah, but I'll just tell him straight, and I'll do what I know, is. What I want to kind of be my own person to do, and not to kind of go into the pattern, would be like to get to the bottom of this and find out what it is, and find out for sure, am I real? Do I count? Do I exist? But it's getting too close.
Yeah, I assume this is going to have an original ending because the manga is not finished, and probably whether it'll be the same original ending that the live action movies got, or whether it'll be a different one, I don't know. I assume it's all planned out ahead of time.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of stuff with Kudo.
Maybe they'll try and spin it out more, but but I understand it was in its closing stages, I think, or entering its final stages, like after this came out, went into production.
Yeah, I think so. So
yeah,
possibly
they know where the ending is.
In the same way that Bungo Stray Dogs was like anime episode aired like a few weeks before the content.
That chapter.
That was right. I was trying to think of what that was. That was to make it work, and thinking, like I could see it happening. I just wouldn't want to be like, okay, here's an ending, and we know there's loads more to this. Here's an ending, and we don't get anymore. I suppose it depends if this moves. How many books did this move? And then in the remainder of it, because does that sustain a full series? But then if we're going at an increased pace theory, it's like decrease that pace to get the rest of it out.
Yeah.
I think it will have an ending, but that's also because of watching Go-Go Loser Ranger at the same time, which is doing it at where Go-Go Loser Ranger feels like they were told halfway through this season you're not getting any more episodes.
Wrap it up.
Yes, so they're like, okay, throw that out. I did as quickly as possible. We got one more thing to talk about before I complain about Go really let loose.
Okay.
Witch Watch episode 10, Trope-tacular Student Council and the Stray Cats Bubble of Bliss.
Filthy.
I'm fine with this being moved up ahead to introduce all these weirdos.
Yeah, it gives you something to look forward to. It's like, look forward to these fucking idiots more.
But they get a good chunk here, just like for them. They're surrounded by assholes. Then they meet up with Conan and Kale up on saying, "Hey lads, why have you not up on saying, oh, these assholes, check them out. Shoot their fucking like their video. Look at all these fuckers here."
Yeah, so initially they're surrounded by the student council, who are Ibira Ibu, who is a overly
sexy one
member, and she's being voiced by Miyuki Sawashiro using her
Fujiko Mine.
She's throwing roses with the force to pierce concrete. He's like, don't worry, it's only a rose. And he's like, you're piercing concrete. Like, I did have to push her out of the way like a bodyguard in that episode. Yeah.
And then I did the thing I occasionally do, which was go, oh yes, you played like Petty Carrot in DigiCarrot when she was like age 13. And I'm like, then at which point I crumble into dust again. We got Yuzuru Kenmochi, who is a guy with seems like a dodgy Kansai accent. It's not a good one. It's suspicious in itself.
Yeah.
He's got the closed eyes, and he only opens his eyes when something serious fucking happens, but not really something serious. But it's implied threatening is his vibe.
I can't as incest and watching the video of one saying it's like, what kind of fucking accent is that? That's some fake ass bullshit right there. I don't sound like that. No way.
We got the twins, Syrup and Korimitsu, one who is a European tsundere and one is a gloomy Japanese gothic girl.
Creepy twins, gotcha.
Creepy twins, yes. The European one has to translate the Japanese one because the Japanese one just appears to be talking spooky nonsense, but it normally has like a very non-spooky meaning. We've got a hacker from a kids anime, Riro Takumi. So it's 3 in a row where they all look far too young to be in high school.
Yeah,
They haven't hit their growth spurt yet. It's fine.
I did think that they did mention. No, they got moved up a few years or something shit like that.
We've got Burst, who is a post-apocalyptic musclehead.
The fact that he bursts out of the ground as an introduction is fucking wonderful as well. Yeah.
A psycho killer.
Yes,
we get all their positions. We get all their positions in the student council as well. Those don't fucking matter. Don't fucking worry about that.
Because that's the payoff of the second part of the story. When you watch the video, is that these guys are useless. Daiki Sakai Mark II, who's a robot. Yes, Kyoki's Psycho, who's the knife-licking psychopath. And then the president, Tenryu Kiyomiya. He's the overly theatrical older brother of Suzuka, the girl who they helped with the tea ceremony. He's constantly got his hand on his hat, which he claims because it is glued on there. It's stuck under his hat.
It's the same phenomenon of where Jotaro's hair and British in with his head.
And the first
That's not the same phenomenon.
He's constantly telling Boy, please do not be so wroth with them when Boy's getting angry at these 9 previous weirdos. And because he wants, essentially he's like, Nico, you got to stop using your magic because it's overshadowing all my weirdos that I have collected and put in the student council.
And as Moy kind of points out, it's like, well, so they're jealous. And also, she was born a witch, man. She can't fucking help that. That's bigoted. You can't fucking do that. And so the president's like, fair enough. I tell you what, we'll have a contest, right? If I catch you, you have to join the student council, Moy. And it's like, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yes,
I was feeling sorry for you from watching the video, you know. I was seeing all these fuckers just like, hand off all the work onto you. I was feeling sorry for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because that's like when he watches the video, he's like suddenly realised, oh no, I understand why I feel sympathy for. I can't hate him because he's just like me, but at the same time, I am not going to join the student council, and this will be the game, which we'll return to again and again with these characters. Is Tenryu wants 10 weirdos on his student council, and he wants Boy to be the 10th weirdo. And Boy's like, I am not a trope. I'm not a weirdo. You cannot make me be the student council.
No.
You're the stoic fucking like martial arts tough guy fucking thing, man. That's fucking printing money. We gotta get you.
It's right there. I mean, it's just like so much conspicuous by its absence. You can see the bind on, man, right?
Yeah, and the little thing of introducing all the characters, and their videos like this that they shot to introduce the student council to, I guess, faculty and whatnot is fucking terrible. But then obviously the president does all the fucking paperwork. The rest of them just dick around in the student council.
Let's all have ice cream. Yeah, good idea. You okay there, Prez? Yeah, you're okay.
And I like that in the video part, the robot's drawn close up enough that you can now see his head is made out of cardboard. It's just a big cardboard mask that he wears to school.
Yeah, it'd be like a Mechamaru kind of look before that, but then it's like, no, it's a kid wearing cardboard robot mask.
It's not so much a robot; he's a cyborg. And then the main characters are wondering, what did Mark 1 look like?
Just a box.
Then the final part is Nemu goes to our main character's house, gets sprayed with soda, and oh my goodness, the cat's got sprayed with soda. Boy's going to have to bathe the cat.
Sexy bath, my sexy cat.
Nemu wants to resist, but her body can't say no, and actively runs towards him when he says, I'm going to have a sponge, I'm going to wash you with my hands, at which point she's moving towards him.
Okay, I can't... You got me in a bind, and then has a wonderful poem about being sudsed up. Literally, not figuratively, don't read too much into it. And then obviously getting petted in the sitting room while they're watching a comedy show, and it's like, oh no, I can't fall asleep. I feel fucking great. I could better not fall asleep. But when she turns back into a full-grown girl on Moy's lap, fortunately the comedians are so fucking good that he's stuck in laughter mode, and they're all like glued to the telly, so she can sneak out.
Again, just with the shoes. Again, just fucking leave it at the break of dawn before the wife comes home.
But that's not all. She runs into the woods in shame and then discovers a sinister plot taking place between
Oh
the
no,
warlock
the plot scheme.
and the warlock's henchman.
Mm.
And they're going to attack Nico. And apparently the henchman has assembled like 30 or 40 people.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. It says.
And then it starts raining, just like in the prophecy.
Dun, 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 dun,
My God, she'll surely be killed.
So tone shift coming next week.
Yep.
But that's a big, big bang out closer, and then put it away or keep going. Well, they'll keep going. I think this has been doing pretty okay for itself.
Yeah. Then we'll go Loser Ranger episode 21. Here comes Fighter D. I'm tempted just to not finish this at this point, and just.
I'm kind of fascinated. Like it's like you're stuck watching a car crash kind of thing. It's just like
God.
Hell. How did you? It's like there's so many of just like spinning along when you're what's the blonde one who's like the second
Suzukiri, yeah.
When she shows up randomly in a fucking dress, and I was just like, why are you wearing that dress? It's like, you need to read the manga. It doesn't make sense now.
Well, no wonder you're confused why she's here, because she walks into the room full of like clones of herself. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, they're apparently used to create the fake dragon artifacts.
Yeah, I like. There's a red guy who's like, I've never seen this guy before, because I'd noticed the guy wearing a giant bear fucking pelt. I think I would have seen him before. The guy wearing like Thunder Cloud as a fucking jacket.
Yeah,
seen him before.
A lot happens with the yellow team there. That it's just like dudes show up, they get killed.
It does not happen in the comic. Doesn't happen in the comic. That guy's not in the comic.
He was an anime original guy that they just brought in just to confuse me.
Possibly,
great.
or he might be elsewhere in the comic, but he's not in this scene. He does not get sliced in half in this scene.
It just so much happens with them, like, the lady with the Jory LaForge fighter of fun saying, I can see that the Yellow Ranger is actually an evil ranger. But I'm an evil ranger, but I get results, don't I? You're right, you do get results. I agree. No more said about that.
Yes. No, because I believe there's like so much more to come with the yellow guy in the comic that I think they've skipped. They basically suggest here that the Rangers themselves made the monsters. Is the suggestion they make here. I don't know if that's in the comic at all. What it felt like was watching Zetman, where it starts off as an adaptation of the comic, and then it kind of has to go really quickly because it's only got 12 episodes to adapt everything from Zetman. And really disappointed me. And this is an ongoing comic, and I think the current volume in English is this arc. So I'm tempted just to hop straight in and read this arc, and just carry on reading the comic, because God, not only is it nonsense, and I'll check 2 chapters from this episode, and there's so many cool scenes just aren't in here. There's one I hope shows up in the remaining episodes because it's so cool and funny, but it feels like we're at this point where it's like, well, we've got to talk about the Yellow Ranger because we've barely talked about him so far. The red ones. Does the pink appear in here this episode at all? Pink, green, and blue? Because we've not got to the replacement Blue Ranger. Has done very little.
Very little.
He was there for that meeting with the Monster Society.
Yes.
But other than that, he hasn't really done anything.
And there's still a Red Ranger running around. So who did fucking Fighter D kill?
Yeah.
It's a goddamn mess. They might get an ending, but it won't be. I can't imagine it encouraging. I mean, it's encouraging me to read it because this is so bad, but that shouldn't be how it works. And it also looks incredibly ugly this episode, which is why.
Oh, it's nasty.
That's the thing which gave me the additional feeling of like they must have been told to change things partway through production, or because this does not. Because the pacing, I think we discussed, the pacing on the school part feels akin to the earlier pacing. It's just these last few episodes just been, right, deep breath, here we go. Let's get to the end.
Here's this, and he's dead. Okay,
Yes.
And here's this guy, here's his power, and now they're dead. And it turned to monsters, one of which was boss monsters, one we haven't seen before ever. Not going to go into that any further. And now she's dead.
This guy, he can inject himself once to get Nagayata's fucking powers, and inject himself twice to just literally turn into that fucking guy. Also, they're fighting in like a Fall Guys type situation where you need to get to the top of this
floor is
wacky...
acid.
The fight does take. I think in the comic, the fight does take place in a dream. But it's when she goes down, she just gets sliced in half by Yellow in the comic. But he strikes a building to get to her rather than one of his own people, as it is in the comic.
He's aiming at a building, not at her. Yes.
But then there's no acid for her to fall in. Instead, she falls and gives Dee a message to tell to the other guy who she gave bad advice to when she was 18, which has led him to injecting himself with a monster. But that's not here at all. She just lands in acid and dissolves. So
no.
Where did I fuck up? Maybe it was in this adaptation where I don't get to fucking explain anything to the main character. Oh well, I'm acid now.
Their whole backstory is 3 scenes. Most of which they then flash back to like before they died. To remember our lifelong relationship where we met a couple of times and have lost touch after school, then met in Monster Society. Yeah.
Anyway, the head of the Monster Association is going to turn himself into a really big bad monster, who I assume is the one in the opening credits.
Right.
That's it. This is an exhausting thing to watch at this point.
It's weird because like the car park like stuff in the first season was like, all right, fucking, I'm enjoying this, but like, fucking wrap it up, guys. But they're just really drawn out the car park stuff, and I was worried the school stuff was going to go similar, but it had enough like interesting rules that you're trying to play with that I was just like, no, this is fun to watch. This Groundhog Day type situation.
It felt like it was still building up the thing where everybody's got their own secret motivation for taking down the Rangers, and now it feels like, well, we're going to have to forget a load of those things because we're just charging towards the end here.
We do not have time to cover all the shit that we've set up. And I was like, but you set it up pretty good. It's like, nope, no time. We've been cancelled. We need to just rush to an ending. But yeah, it is weird to watch.
Yeah. I'm trying to kind of think now of the sort of what was the environment like when the first series this came out, because there was a lot of pickup on it on that. Was there too big of a gap between then and now? Because I don't see new need the same level of like uptake on this one, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely doesn't feel as well organized as Trillion Games. Obvious ending of again that was all produced in one long chunk though, wasn't it? There wasn't like a break between.
That's true.
It's frustrating, particularly when there's other things like Kowloon and YAIBA who are doing a better job of cutting stuff out and it's still making sense.
Even in Kowloon's sense, it's just like it isn't like it's like rushing through the like the emotional nuances thing. You're still getting those like scenes where it's letting like the characters like letting those interactions kind of breathe. It doesn't feel like fun saying, okay, and now you're in love because look at the fun. No, I'm not. I committed about it actually. Okay, actually you're a clone. It doesn't really like have rush through it in that sense.
I think from what I can tell is like a lot of the stuff which gets cut out in Kowloon is sort of the more kudos nostalgic interactions with other people in the city. Who we don't really see as much of.
I suppose,
it kind of leaves him quite mysterious on the edge. Like a lot of that stuff has been cut. Like I was wondering, like if it's adapted nearly an episode, is it just super chill as a manga? Like just like everyone's just hanging out. Yeah.
Anyway, how is Sword of the Demon Hunter going with episode 11, Drunken Dreams of the Lingering Snow, Part 1?
You tell me.
Did you watch this, Dwayne, or
have you given up on it now?
Well, I didn't have like a lot of time to get the things. I've had to lend this computer out in lieu of the absence of another one. So I've got the opportunity to kind of actually get down and do sort of this like this became less of a priority when I started. Never escaping this time period. Not in this series of episodes, anyways. So I became less interested as a result.
Okay. I mean, like, if you want to leave it till next week, or if you want to leave it entirely, we can just leave it off.
You
That's
watch it
fine.
away. You watch it away. You've got anything you want to highlight about it, go ahead.
I'm struggling to remember the episode now because my fucking head is filled with some kind of bug. So I'm going to leave it off because I know I'd do it a disservice if it was just me.
Yeah.
Fine.
I enjoyed it. I remember that much.
Good. My Hero Academia Vigilantes, episode 10, event announcement, which is barely anything that happens in the episode because a lot of it is figuring out where this schoolgirl is with the bees and getting some background on Knuckle Duster. His wife's in hospital, seems to be like reliving memories from the past, waiting for a
She's
daughter.
also got an eye patch on. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And the bee girl did it because Knuckle Duster just came home one day and his wife was like unconscious on the floor and the girl was there, bees swarming everywhere. It's just, oh my god, he puts that together. And this is like, you know, but most of his time, like, I was always away at work. I'm sorry I wasn't home often enough.
Yeah, and he's talking about, it's like, my work life is good, I have friends, you know, it's just like, things are going pretty good. And even when the doctor gives him some spiel and he starts like droning out the doctor's voice kind of thing, he was like, what the fuck do doctors know? They wrote me off several fucking times, but I'm still standing. And he's like, don't worry, honey, I'm going to sort everything out.
I'm going to put this thing to bed for good.
So he meets up with the Spike Kid.
Yeah.
Soga.
Yeah, so he's got Soga going around asking people about this girl. And then he explains to Soga, yeah, okay, see, I've got you on the ground doing investigation work. Meanwhile, I've got the Crawler and Pop. They're just sparkly distractions that cause clues to emerge from the underground.
Like things start going towards them because they're making themselves public, for lack of a better term. Whereas, because he's like, your man's kind of like, why don't you just ask your fucking friends to do it? And he's like, no, they serve a different purpose. He's like, so they're just like a target. They're like, they're a thing you're setting up for a fall. And he's like, I'll use any fucking means necessary to get what I'm fucking trying to do done.
That's cold, man. That's cold, old man.
Yeah, this is after he's been attacked by another one of the schoolgirls who had bees fly out.
I did appreciate because he was initially a villain, but is now a guy who lives in the neighborhood because he's out of juvie basically, and
he's off the super power drugs.
Yeah, and when he shows up at school looking super sketchy and he's like, have you seen this girl? And everyone's just like, call the fucking cops. But one of the girls is like, hey buddy, I saw you were looking for the girl, and he's like, yeah, can you tell me anything about her? It's like, what do you need her for? It's like, well, I'm just the messenger. It's like, I don't think I need to talk to the fucking messenger. And bees start pouring out from under her skirt. Yes. Horrible.
Yes. Yes, particularly because we've had the bees coming out of the eye socket image already.
That's bad.
We gotta elevate. We got to go further, ratchet it up.
Yeah, but he has prepared, at least, in that he's brought like a bug killing thing that he just stabs with his spikes. And also his friends show up on motorbikes, one of them shooting flames, going like, fucking get on, let's get the fuck out of here. I don't think bees are faster than motorbikes. We should be able to do it. They do. So they're good.
Anime and manga differences. When Soga is saved by Raptor Mayuru in the manga, they are riding a motorcycle together, while in the anime they appear on two motorcycles. Moreover, Rapt gives Soga a helmet to wear in the anime, so they're more responsible in the anime than they are in the
manga. That's nice.
Dude, this is censorship written book.
That's how good they've become in the anime. And then the second part is the event announcement. Well, we get some training montage of Knuckle Duster destroying his training equipment and then looking at a photo of the girl we're looking for, but this is her with a different haircut when she was younger. And then we see her going home.
Complaining to Dad that his card's been maxed out. I thought you'd have a bigger credit limit. I guess I'm going to have to move.
So what are we watching? Dead bodies, who I live with.
Mostly the bees, I think she's living with at this stage.
Yeah, I don't know whether they're dead or whether they're just in the same state that Knuckle Duster's wife's in.
Yeah, I guess it would be
Who's
like a
to say?
7 type thing. Yeah.
It doesn't
Not
look
good.
good.
It's yeah.
No,
It's,
it's
Look pretty
bad and it
grey
becomes-
and
hmm.
rigor mortis-y.
Yeah. Anyway, Koichi is trying to help Pop give some advice to her about doing a more professional.
She's been booked for like a department store. Is going to have like a thing on the roof of their shop. This is going to be a thing to push the department store.
They're opening a food court, so they want to hire some local
Local
like,
talent.
Yeah, but like lower talent, they don't plan on paying you for this fucking shit. This is going to be a freebie kind of thing. But it gets, it's exposure. It's that kind of thing. And she's like, I don't know if I should do it. And he's like, well, maybe you shouldn't do it. And he's like, but I don't know like if I'm going to get this opportunity again. And he's like, I need to weigh up my options as to which ones don't get me punched. Like, it's basically his concern. He's like, I can't fuck this up. He's like, yeah, just go for it. It's like, that's going to get me punched. Can't fucking do that.
My solution is I'll ask someone else.
I'll ask someone smarter than me and better at organizing these things. And
Like
unfortunately,
Makoto.
it's the person Pop
good at
would
this.
like you to ask the least. But Makoto is the most professional character in the cast. So, yeah, she's like,
Here's what we're going to do. Is we're going to do this now. Okay, you want to bump with the profile this thing for saying, great. Chris, buddy, how's it going? Hey, it's Captain Celebrity. Come on, fun and say that's Dynamite Chris, baby. How about putting an appearance at the department store thing going on? Like, boys for fun. I'm in the middle of fighting monsters. That's brilliant. I'll talk to you later. Bye. So, okay, we got Captain Celebrity booked for the show. It's allowed as a profile of it. It means more exposure for you, so that's all good.
I like the way she kind of played it, where it's just like, it's that billing you just started. It's like, yeah, but the insurance and we are fucking contributing towards that. He's like, yeah, but it'll be a good look for you. She's like, it's all about the optics and stuff. And she's telling him this while he's, I assume, arresting a giant crab. I'm not exactly sure what you do with a giant crab, but he's bringing it somewhere. It's under arrest for being a flying giant crab. But yeah, so her kind of going to the department store going like, yeah, we're going to have Captain Celebrity come in. No, you don't have to pay him. He's doing this for free. But we'd like to bump it up a little. We don't want to make it look cheap. You know what I mean? So now all the indie artists are getting paid for this gig rather than Captain Celebrity, which is like, fucking, they're all just like, Makoto's like, yeah, they're all like, wow, she's good. She's very good at what she does, manipulating people for good and justice. That's the important thing. It is very like Lois Lane as a manager kind of thing. It works very good.
Just brazen, just like, I'll just like I'll push me luck as far as I can get, and then like,
yes.
Well, okay, that's all right, that's okay. But she always knows when to push, but only just like far enough, never more than she needs to. She never get into trouble yet.
I really liked where she was saying is like they want you to do like all the artists to collaborate on a theme. It's the department store's theme, and it looks like it was made like in the 70s for real fucking cheap. The animation was so good, man.
I quite liked it. It was very fitting. They really did their homework to make that look appropriate.
Yeah, and Pop kind of going, it's like, fucking hell, this thing's got numbers on him. Yeah, this is a good fucking tune because it's a jingle, so it's going to be real catchy, basically. Yeah.
Just because you should up a little bit, we can fit my style more, and we got something. Yeah. It's all looking well. I hope nothing goes bad. This big department store gig that Pop's looking forward to, and there's all different into organizing and making it look better. Hope there's no stupid villain attacks or anything that might ruin it. Like Captain Celebrity is there, no, assuming it's going to be safe, from anything. I mean, he had a lot of most things.
Oh, you cut out there for a second, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do see a bead girl looking at the fucking flyers, going like, "Fuck this! I don't like this shit specifically." Yeah, it's really got her in her cross. So while she's looking at the flyer for this fucking thing, we see Knuckles on a roof going like, "Fucking gotcha," with his binoculars. It's just like, oh Jesus Christ, it's all going down.
What are some context we're missing here? That's why he's so angry about this.
We did get the slight recurring gag as well earlier of Rap thinking Pop's costume is stupid.
It's funny how those guys have like went from as like, ooh, these guys are threatening villains to just like Pop throwing like a water bottle at his fucking head. Like it's just like these guys are grand. They're not a bother. They were kind of dicks early on, but you know they've served their time. They're good.
Well, no, she knows what to do. People have been hecklers on the streets. It's like, fuck you.
That's true as well. Yeah.
Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX episode 10, Yomagn'tho Blockade, or some sort of
Yomagn'tho.
I kept listening to them say it, and I couldn't remember how the fuck.
It's very eldritch, elder god kind of pronunciation there.
Anyway, they've made this wonderful sort of solar panel thing that's going to benefit the Earth.
It's definitely not a space weapon of some description.
Listen,
no.
Space laser. No, all of Earth has gotten together to combat global cooling from nuclear winter to make this laser array that will warm the Earth appropriately to bring it back to prior nuclear winter
power
levels.
Plant. It's out in space. You know.
Yeah.
Fun thing. I know that's the solar array from the old cartoon. Fun saying, yeah, but this isn't your father's solar array. We've made it better.
And what could possibly go wrong when the two Zabi siblings are going to have a meeting here? I do love that Giran finally shows up and he's killed within minutes.
I'm impressed that fucking Cassidy was playing the long game, and even that meeting going, you didn't. That fucking stupid mask one. This is my thing, man. This is my mask. You're gonna want one. When I fill the room with poison gas, you used to be sharp, Giran, but you gone soft. You're the one who fucking killed your own father to get this job. But
the reason she's been wearing a mask for like all her fucking life is to do this kind of poisoning thing. Like that's so good. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, and I like the keep because she kills the brother as well in the original, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Of the patricide. That is kept, and also, our guy doesn't get his plan. He's going over his plan again. We're going to kill them both at the same time in the same room. It's perfect. We're going to do this, and we get another flashback from him, and we see he speaks his motivation finally that he wants to create a world that is safe for new types. This is what Char would have wanted, or at least what I think he would have wanted, is the world where they're not being used as tools. Meanwhile,
he certainly doesn't agree with that, and he has like a willing kind of like adherent and Matthew there, and saying, "Yeah, I hear that, man."
Here, would you like a gun? It's my gun. I was going to kill myself with it. I didn't kill myself with it, but now you can have it.
When I was stuck on Jupiter, I thought I was going to fucking die. Here's the gun I was going to kill myself with. Hang on to it, but don't tell your one you have it. She's going to give me a bollocking if you do. And then the other girl also gets a favorite gun. So,
well, what from both of them is that they're fun passing off their fucking responsibilities to a younger generation to take care of for them. You know, I'm going to give you the gun and make you pull the trigger instead of me. Keep this going. Always dig deeper. Always double down.
They're pressing on what their beliefs and what they want to do in the world to teenage girls and giving them a gun to enact it with, basically.
And
they give them guns to enact it with in terms of gun
guns. And fucking Charlie Bull saying like, you know, fun. I don't want youth types to use it as weapons anymore. Fun saying you're doing it right now.
I mean, me and Niall have watched Captain Earth. We know this writer likes to give children guns and send them to them. No, strictly speaking, those were what were they? Extra-dimensional beings in the shape of a gun in Captain Earth. Something which is never explained or elaborated on.
Yeah, which happened to be gun-shaped.
Dinky.
I think it's like in our universe they're a gun, but in their universe they're some other shape. Also, there's some squirrels. So instead they plug G-Fred into this thing. They teleport. What's the base called? The big
Abawaku.
Yes. They teleport it into the path and then destroy it with the Zeknova. As you do.
And Charlie Bull kind of going like shit. She was slightly ahead of me. I fucking thought I'd get both of them in the room. Oh, I'm gonna need to speed up in this situation.
I think it's when everyone just like start attacking all of like the ships and mobile armor just sitting there, just docked, and just like came up right from underneath them and started just blowing the shit out of them.
I did like on the other Xeon ships. They're kind of like, the fuck are they doing? Is that a fucking mobile suit? It's like, are they running thing? It's like, no, they're not running thing. And once they're being shot with lasers, like, oh fuck, shields up, that kind of thing. They destroy one of the what are the big fucking
Big Zam.
It's like 10
the
big
Zams,
they
yeah.
destroy on the way to plug in the G-thread in. And so we do literally get what I said would happen would be Nyan and Xavier versus Jalia and Machu. And then we end with Machu confronting the G-thread, demanding demanding to know who's piloting that thing.
Yeah, well, I'm not even sure if Xavier he was in this because only Nyan was given the secret additional orders for what you do after you blow up all of the opposing forces, and we kind of take over this operation ourselves.
But I mean, like, they're essentially on the same side, as it were. Anyway,
they're essentially doing the clan battles, but now in real life.
Yeah.
And even when he shows up against your one, he surrounds her with the dudes with the lances, and he's like, "Yeah, it's not fucking clan battles anymore." And then her partner shows up, and is like, "It's clan battle time! Come on,
I'll hold these guys off. You go in there."
Very good stuff. Yeah.
I've seen people who say, "I want a second season." I don't think it needs a second season. I think it's going to tell its story in 12 episodes perfectly fine.
Yeah. I think it's already sort of tipped the 10 anyway, but like, we've already now, like, it wasn't just like an orthodox like history thing. We're actually kind of bringing things from that original timeline into this one, like, so it's already trying to serve as some kind of commentary or reflection of this thing overall. So it's just going to come to its point, because if we're getting like kind of the final bits of it, like, a Bao coup blowing up, fucking Giran Zabi getting iced, rest of them not too far behind. So we're hitting all the kind of the parallel points in the original story anyway.
I do like that one scientist who does some misogyny just as he's sucked out into space.
That'll fucking show the bastard. Like women shouldn't be fucking running the fucking place, and then a teenage girl comes down on a fucking robot and eviscerates the entire fucking lab that he's in.
That's right.
But the Shah lookalike manages to leap through the door in time.
Because he was just like, "Oh fuck, I'm getting out here," which is like sensible. He's being sensible.
Yeah,
he's genre aware, I guess. Yeah,
because I guess they were powering this with Lala Soon from the other dimension.
Yeah, she's plugged into the middle of the thing.
So we'll see where it goes. The episode's already out.
Like, it's already like, come to like from a pretty terrifying scale in not much time. We're already using like fucking black hole guns to shoot fucking space battle stations on the other side of the moon. It's like, okay.
What do they keep calling the extra space that the new types can see?
The Kira.
The Kira, yeah.
Shiny.
I thought it was kind of interesting that it's the first time we see other characters who I'm not sure are or aren't new types, but other people can see. It's like, holy shit, that was a fucking space explosion. It's like, yeah, now it's so big now everyone can fucking see it. You don't even need the psychic powers to see it anymore.
Then Apocalypse Hotel, episode 10. Clean sheets symbolize pure hearts.
How to hide a body.
I thought they were going to do what's the name of the film where they're making the corpse look Weekend at Bernie's? I thought they were going to do that for a bit, but like it's a little different than that.
It's more like a hotel Whitehall farce type thing of we got to continually keep on trying to hide this dead body from the other Greedo. Yeah, so Greedo shows up, he dies. Another Greedo shows up, explains that guy was a what's that? I took the screenshot.
He's a serial space bomber. He's got the bombs on here to blow up your planet and then some.
I'm
little sweeties.
I'm a cool space detective. Yeah.
Also,
which he almost gave it as a chip. Yeah.
Ponko has a child.
I like the way we're introduced to Ponko's kid, where they're praying at Granny's grave, and there's like a mini Ponko, and mini Ponko then turns back to her regular form. It's like, did I imitate you properly, Mammy? And it's just like, yeah, you did, kid. Good job. It's like, she's not a mini of her ma'am. She's a separate fucking character with a different design. I'm glad they did that.
Yes, his sneakity sneak. He's the worst serial bomber psycho-terrorist bastard in space history. And he's being chased by the cosmic detective, Mr. Squirtity Squirt. But yes, he died in his hotel room, and Mr. Squirtity Squirt just wants a room with a double bed. The child says, "Oh, there's one just become free." After Yachio's trying to say, "No, that we don't have. We've only got single beds available."
We haven't cleaned it yet. It's like, don't worry, I don't fucking care that you haven't cleaned it yet, because they were like, we need to cover up this body, because hotels that have fucking people dying in them, they go out of fucking business, man. No one's like, I don't want to go to the dying hotel. That sounds like it sucks.
And so they're constantly moving around. At one point, Ponko is washing the body, which leaves the child to tell her father that, not just tell her, she's drawn a picture.
No, because it says, hey, mommy, what are you...
Mr. Scooch.
Yeah, hey, man, what are you doing? It's like, oh, she's giving Mr. Scooch, like his pseudonym, Squishy Squoosh, a bath, and like has drawn a picture. The dad's like, I need to fucking kill this guy. Yes. That's what's fucking happening now.
Immediately jumps to murder.
Yeah. There's also a school trip of weird aliens who are watching a horror movie at the hotel as well.
There's no age-appropriate things anymore. It's like, that doesn't fucking matter. But
which at least the final place, they hide the body behind the screen, and the screen pulls up at the end of the film, and he's just hanging from a noose.
Is this what human films are like? I mean, because yeah, and I love our detective goes in and he's like, all right, I'll watch this film. They're like, shit, but he does leave before, like he doesn't watch the whole credits, so he does leave and he's like, fucking human movies are great. But then like the revealed corpse that's hanging from a noose and all the slug aliens kind of going like, huh, that's. I mean, like, I didn't need the extra fight at the end of the movie. It was already like a tale of debauchery and murder. I didn't need this extra thing.
Post-credit scene. You mean they weren't done with this one? Oh man, this is what they do when make a franchise.
Yeah.
Anyway, it all ends with both of them dying for reasons we don't know. We confirm that it's not the dad. It didn't kill the second one with blunt force trauma when he kicks him in the head. He's a second attempt to murder Mr. Squirt.
I think I assume it's a War of the Worlds type thing. It was germs or something that killed them, but because their skin like starts crackling over and they spew up the same yellow bile, and I was just like,
yeah, because Tabako only hugs the first one; she doesn't hug the second one, so it's not her giving the hug that kills them.
And he didn't eat his dinner because they when they were initially going through this, like, who murdered this man? And it's like, was it you, Chef Robot? The Chef Robot's, no, he didn't fucking eat the food. And it's like, all right, okay, you're clear. Was it you? You know, just blaming everyone in the fucking hotel, essentially.
The small child is very much like the inspector from Dinner Table Detectives in terms of just accusing the
pointing
most
things out.
Person. Yeah. And then they're like, what are we finally going to do with the body? There's the great bit at the end where I promise you, I said, yes, I'd never run away again. And yet here I am running away from running away.
So good. And also the fact that Yachio like has now taken it into her core is like, she will punch someone if she just disagrees with him. That's her first thing is like, punch, you're wrong. And it's like, you're so right, Yachio. And
as you reconcile later, it's okay. This is how we decide. Get a hold of yourself.
The brothers become a potter is the other thing.
Yes, he's working with ceramics. He's trying to make a bowl to put on Grandma's grave. And we just get to see him like age up into whatever it is.
He's very troubled. I don't know.
20s.
It's like.
But the detective said it's like, I've got a very discerning eye for crime, but also for art. Like, this fucking cup is wonderful. It's like just a friggin', like, a tanuki shaped cup essentially and saucer. But we kind of cut him and it's like, here you go, Grandma. I finally did it. I made the perfect bowl. Like, you'd be so proud of me.
The grave with their weapons stuck out of them. And then we go upwards and we see the grandmother's face appear in the sky, and then their two faces appear.
It's so good, man. Like, not really much happened in this episode. It's like, well, we did another fucking time skip, and also this fucking nonsense happened. So yeah, like, nothing needs to happen. Just like, all right, now it's not even a mystery. We know, like, we don't know what fucking killed him. It doesn't fucking matter what killed him. They're not concerned with that. They're concerned with the hotel's welfare. Their concern is always the hotel, which is, that through line
Well,
is fucking
the
great.
funny thing is amazing. Is a sitcom sitting in a hotel. It took them this long to get around to this, to doing something like that. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I remember the strength there.
The other thing I've noticed, I don't know when the last time anybody talked about humans.
I mean,
we're getting so much
been a few
more aliens now.
centuries.
You know?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they've moved past the expecting humans to return.
Business is booming. I mean, they don't need humans to keep the hotel running.
Then we got Me and the Alien MuMu episode 10, something I apparently watched, but I cannot remember the first half of it. The rival, the girlfriend, buys a robot cat in the first half.
She's going around like showing off to everyone. It's like, I know all about technology. I know how to make Sylvester Stallone shaped latte art using my latest fucking latte machine kind of thing. And everyone's like, wow, she's so cool. Whereas our main girl is kind of like, I want to give her these chocolates and say, hey, thanks for taking care of me while I was sick. But she's really popular and I don't know an appropriate time to go up. And eventually your one kind of goes like, yeah, you've been like ghosting me all day. What's up? It's like, I want to give you these chocolates. She's like, I'm not really a big fan of sweets, but you can come up to my apartment. She's like, a perfect opportunity to show how backwards she is and country girl, and to make me look cool as fuck with my high tech apartment, and explaining how to use tinfoil to get your better Wi-Fi signal and that kind of shit. So yeah, shows her the apartment. There's a robot cat in there. MuMu is fucking disturbed by this robot cat because apparently they had an AI apocalypse on their planet as well.
I was going to say, how many apocalypses they had on their planets?
I mean, like, the apocalypse was the AI turned against them,
Yes.
and like, you know, the heater would turn up too high or the cooler would turn up too low, and the cat was like, no, it didn't kill anyone, it just sucked for them.
Yes, it's very much in tone with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy tone that various other elements have got of appliances just being terrible when you give them a mind of their own. Yeah, how the hell she got this apartment a student digs is gigantic.
See, the thing is, like, that's when your one kind of heads later on and she's looking up, because MuMu destroys the fucking robot cat, obviously, and she's looking it up, and it's like, oh, the robot cat, it's from this company, because it's like she's looking on her wish list on Amazon. We explain how wish lists fucking work as well. But she's like, wait a minute, that's the same name as the company that makes the cat and the electronics and shit. It's like, oh, she's like, she's a rich girl, basically, is the thing. Like, I think her mom's talking about her taking over the business, that kind of thing.
Yeah, as I was saying that, I remembered the girl from my university whose parents bought her a house to live in.
Good for them.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, it was a shit house.
But
it's still far more than you'd expect anybody to do.
For digs, like, yeah.
Yeah. And then the second half, the cats become content creators. And also,
I expect they have a little studio, like a little box that they've made as a studio to do all their editing.
It's adorable when they do that.
And we get the moment where it's like, oh, because I'd already had the thought. I think partly I hadn't realised that one of the voices is a Sergeant Frog voice, but it's the moment at which Onimaru gives our girl a flower and tells her how beautiful she is. I was like, hey, this is Sergeant Frog with cats.
Yeah.
We've got the irresponsible one in charge, the one who finds human beings attractive, and we've got the junior who occasionally goes berserk. That's three of the cats covered, and also the person voicing MuMu was the voice of the Tamamar, the junior who goes berserk in Sergeant Frog. Also, I connected it, the voice of Jibanyan from Yokai Watch.
Oh, right. This is a typecasting now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got to get a cat voice in. And so this leads the cats to learn how cameras work. And the humans are obsessed with pixels.
Yeah, some people fucking were.
Yes.
Man, they fucking increase that again and again and again.
I don't talk to those
people.
Get more. They're strange.
Yes, I find them strange as well. God, the 4K people. It's finally come out on 4K. Great.
Like, I'm essentially blind with all these glasses, like, so it doesn't fucking matter to me. Like, it's just like, can I see it? Is it in rough fucking shape? All right, we're good. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, they're funny, they're popular, and then of course they get told off for.
Well, also
This is everything they
it's not
do.
just learning about cameras and pixels and stuff. They're also learning about, I guess, social media and doxing and just like, yeah, you shouldn't have been doing mailbox fucking pranks because now they know where the fuck you live, idiots. And also, finally, someone in the comments addresses like, how come they have zips on the back? It's just like, it's fake. It's a cuddly toy. That's how you got it to walk around like a person. So their YouTube channel is taken down, presumably by the cat that's the government, the cat that's trying to. I love that shows up to the door with a knife and a taser. It's like, MuMuu, you're in
But,
you're in.
but MuMuu's not here because he's gone to tour the Panasonic factory.
I'm doing a work thing. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. What can you do? It turns out the people who were trying to dox them were like little middle school or lower children. Was like, there it is. There's the cat. And it's like, fucking, you need to ask permission before you can take a picture. But it's like, you're MuMuu, you're a cat. You don't need to ask a cat permission. Yeah.
Yes, as the last line is Siberia is what sort of invader would become a celebrity on the planet they're hiding on. And then we see a very suspicious and ominous block-shaped spaceship floating over the city.
That's when it appeared. It's like, that's where we're left.
And that's where they put the trailer out saying, we're back next season, this thing just carries on.
Pew.
Good stuff.
And I was like, well, good, but I hope you're going to add another day to the week so I can find time to watch all this stuff. Anyway, Windbreaker, episode 24, After the Storm.
Oh, yeah.
I think I joked, what will they do for the next 2 episodes? Probably eat. It immediately opens with the meat.
Yep.
Yeah, slap up meal. That's what we do at the end of this. Like the Bashby kids or whatever. Like you did the big thing. Now we eat a big pile of potatoes with sausages sticking out of it. Like that's how we fucking do.
Fight, eat, repeat. But before we can properly tuck in, we've got to have a flashback to confronting that guy. Is it Endo or Ando? I can't remember his.
Endo. As in phone cross me, it'll be the end of you.
So yeah, he only went to boys' school for man fighting for 1 year, but he made quite a legend for himself in that 1 year. To the point where everyone, well, I wouldn't say scared, is fucking everyone's like the cat with the fucking hair on the back standing up. Like everyone's ready to fucking go at this guy. But it's resolved reasonably amicably, I would say. Very few kicks and punches thrown.
Well, they all try and go for him with most of the stuff. Sakura going for him. Because he's going to go for him at one saying, I did what this motherfucker talks. He's I see a young me in you, Sakura. It's a shame your talents are being wasted over in Bofurin, fighting for truth and justice and the fucking small town ways.
Yeah, because initially saying like Bofurin's a bad fit for you, it's just like, are you saying I'm not fucking good enough? It's like, no, I'm saying you're better than that. You got potential, kid. And then the lad's kind of going, is like, wait a minute. He's like some sort of feral child that doesn't know what fucking phones were, and he lives in an apartment on his own. It's like, yeah, what's his fucking deal? Was he raised to be an evil child, and we've accidentally taken in this evil stray cat child and made him a good boy? But yeah, it's a thing they have to consider now with this weirdo saying is like, you have a great destiny to be a bastard.
Well, it all seems to kind of boil down to what kind of gang did you fall in with. And more often than not, like as we've seen before with Shishi Torn, we just need to get together to help each other out, to support each other, or gravel literally to fucking feed each other. And it starts out fine, but then over time it's just like, the cynicism sets in, the cold hard reality sets in. You got one. It's about being a type of guy. It's about staying there. It's about keeping food on the table. It's about keeping people like looked after and so forth, and that's when it can creep in. So this guy Endo was like free of all that, but saying, I'm not in any gang, I'm my own gang. I do what I want.
So when the guys are trying to throw hands with him, or what's the guy, the head of gravel guy? I can't think of his name.
Suzuri
walks up to him and goes like, all right lads, no, this is on me. It's like, I want to apologize, I'm gonna do the bow and everything, just like thing, and Yumen's is like, that looks real good, you on the floor like dirt. Yeah, no, I'll talk to the guy and I'll threaten him if he doesn't fucking like renounce the bounty on the singer's head, and don't worry about it. I'm in a good mood today. Everything's gonna be fine. I was just like, okay, this guy's super suspect, but you know they're mulling over this. Well, mostly Sakura's mulling over this while they're having a slap up fried chicken, basically.
And then they have a meal and play not Mario Kart.
Sakura, do you know what video games are?
Because it's
Never heard of
literally
them.
like your man's thing is like, hey, what's your dream? And it's like, oh, I want to play video games. It's like, oh, like board games. It's like, no, like video games, like on the TV, because I've never played that before. And so he's barely getting there at Mario Kart. But Sakura is somehow worse than him, because I guess he's familiar with video games as theory, where Sakura is like, I didn't know you could play things on the TV. I've never seen these moving pictures you speak of.
He's like Jotaro. It's just like, well, I figured if it's like real driving, I'll just figure it out.
Yeah,
Sakura,
sure.
I've never seen you in a car, let alone driving one. You walk or run everywhere.
They mentioned as well that Endo once gave somebody else a compliment, and we don't see who that is. We just see their silhouette.
Did that guy also go bad, or yeah?
Maybe he went good, and that's like it's Umemiya. Is what I'm going to surmise here. Because one thing, we got a big meeting with like all the 4 kings and their seconds and everybody. Like we gotta be there first thing tomorrow morning, Sakura, and also you 2 other lads, fucking Suo and Nira. You're in on this as well. Big important meeting with all the higher-ups.
Everyone and their lieutenants has to show up to this meeting because, well, shit's gone down, I guess, with the re-emergence of this guy.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It is the formula is now visible. I am enjoying it. I did see.
It's just weirdly spaced out. I think over the series, because we're going to get to the end of this, like about to fight somebody again.
Yes. Yeah, it's. I saw somebody on a Discord. I had got into an argument with them. Well, not an argument, but he was just saying he didn't see why people were
a duel.
People weren't like. He was wondering why it wasn't as popular as the bigger fighting things, and it's because it's something very well done, but it's not dazzling. It does what it does extremely well, and it's fun to watch if you like this sort of thing. But it does not have the charisma of a Jujutsu Kaisen or a Demon Slayer or a One Piece, or the sort of thing that does achieve greatness.
It's also quickly going to. It's also quickly, if it didn't rain and stuff, it runs the problem of there are too many fucking guys at the school, and then there's a whole other gang full of different dudes, and there's a whole other gang who are the evil gang, and then and then everybody we fought, and then they're a massive gang. They're our friends now. So when we go fight the really evil gang, they all come in. It's just we're trying to find a part for all of these ones out, because we're getting kind of. I've also the mentor character for Sakura. It was fucking like for Kaji. He's just like him for a year ahead. Now fucking like Tsubaki is just swooped in and taken you in. It's just like now your Tsubaki is like little dude. So it's got too many teachers there.
And the character designs aren't quite distinctive enough to get away with that. That's that new comic in Shonen Jump, Harukaze Bound. It does a smart thing in that essentially it's a baseball game, and essentially the plot is going to be that these 2 outsiders of the world of baseball are going to put together a team of outsiders in the game of baseball when they go to high school. And we get silhouettes of all these outsiders they're going to find, and they've all got different body shapes. And I was like, that's the smart thing to do. And again, the difference is the first 2 you get is there's one guy who's a southpaw on his pitching, and the other guy is a really short catcher. And they both we're both weirdos, and we know we're never going to get the top if we go. We're just going to be like we're going to be the guy from Gurazanai. We're going to be like the
because he's the reserve pitcher for his twin brother, who's who's actually going to be the star when he gets like the scholarships to go to play the big teams, the big schools.
Yeah, so if we
And
wanna
even
make-
even though the twins are not like exact twins either, they're like
Yeah,
they are
not
identical twins.
yeah, and so they're like, we're going to put together a team of people, outsiders, and we're going to be great, and we'll stand out that way. It's a really good first chapter because essentially it's doing things that always work in a comic. And this doesn't quite have that. I mean, you can kind of, like the original set of guys, you can tell them apart quite well.
Yeah.
And then your new guy who gets a big part of this series, and we can tell him apart quite well. But then having his backup guys being twins who don't really have any personality beyond being twins.
one is outgoing and the other one is reserved, and I was just like, okay, that's
yeah, it's kind of it's not, like I say, it doesn't quite have the charisma of the absolute standouts, but it's good.
But then
This
it does
is
the
really
thing.
well made.
Even with the twins, like you said in the well-made part, even with the twins, when they do their like synchronized fighting, we're swinging off each other shit. That shit is cool as fuck. Like it does that extremely well. But yeah,
They just maybe need to, like, you know, some of these guys could do it being rolled up into one character, perhaps. You know, some of them
sure.
because like also the other problem you get with too much of a cast through, and I guess you can kind of see how needless it is. It's like the Taite Kubo school of the Bleach guy. Why have one character when you have with kind of complete when you get 5 characters who are shallow and very obvious instead?
Yeah.
Now, I do like Endo obviously stands out as a character. He's going to be a nightmare to animate when he's fighting because he is covered in tattoos. And
yeah. It makes me think it's like, are you guys gonna make him wear a jacket, or are you gonna start doing CG guys or something like that?
Smears is what you get away with. You just make the fighting extra smeary, so you don't have to worry about the details of the tattoos. But it does seem like one of those character design things which was not designed for animation.
Yeah.
But he does stand out, and he does seem like an effective arch villain. In that he's bad, but he doesn't seem like completely all the way gone to evil.
Not unreasonable.
Yeah.
Like they basically talk him out of starting any shit here, and he's like, I didn't fucking come here to start shit. Like I'm cool. So it's kind of like, yeah, you could. He's somewhat reasonable, even though he introduced himself by jumping off a 2-story building and hurting his legs, going like, fucking. It humanizes him a lot, like that bit as well. Because makes him less arch villain, more like a fucking idiot. Like
he comments that it looks so much easier in the movies. Yes, because he's only going to be like 17 or 18 because
he's from the older generation, like times past in the legends, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so says he's from the same year as him. He's from his
busted down old 30 years, like, you know, he's not even very in school.
See, one of the things
halfway to the grave, old man.
In terms of like making like too many characters and too many different gangs and stuff, like it's the school of tough boys, and they patrol, as far as I can tell, one shopping street, and then we have this gang, and they are in a warehouse, and we got this other gang that's in a different shopping street. It's just like they're very confined to their very specific areas is the thing. Yeah
Small town justice, man.
And those areas aren't as interesting as, say, the My Hero Academia Vigilantes local area. Like I say, it's still very good, but it's understandable that it is where it is. Then finally, Dinner Table Detective, episode 11. The bride is behind locked doors, in which we're invited to a wedding of a girl that Hocho considers her younger sister.
Which is why she's wild with jealousy that she's getting married before.
Yes. And then we see the character design of the man she's getting married to, and we're like, him?
He's totally evil. Look at him.
She's been drawn like all cherub-like and pretty and everything, like, and he's been drawn like with like hard lines and like stubble. And it's like
he's just older. He's just a bit gaunt. You know, it's like it's like, oh, he's probably just trying to marry in for the money. That's why that's the kind of the rumors floating around. At least like with the siblings, anyway. It's just like, oh, they're.
Her shaking hands with the younger sister, going like, "I'm glad someone agrees with me," says the younger sister, and it's like, we're agreed. And the brother's like, "Yeah, he's just in for them." It's just like, okay, so definitely plenty of motive to fuck shit up around.
Yes, and then the wedding cake's being handed out, and great big where Hocho gives the youngest sister her piece of cake on the proviso that she never calls her auntie again.
Onesan,
It does open as well with her trying to make the fucking butler sit in a car for like 6 hours for the whole fucking wedding. He's like, "Oh, I'd be delighted." It's like, "Yeah, I can come in too." He's like, "No, you wait in the car." And the butler's like, "No, by all means, of course he's welcome in. She'd be upset if he didn't go." And she's like, "No, you wait in the car." You know, it's just like, no, come on, man.
Okay.
So like him being salty at her and nearly implying that she fucking did it, I was like, yeah, you kind of deserved it that time, honestly.
Yeah, it feels like there's bits of this where it's like just we should make it absolutely clear in the story that Kageyama is not a love interest for Hosho.
If only there was a man out there for her. Like, I don't know if he was an heir of a shitty car company or something. I don't fucking know. Like,
the bride
he'd be a better
stabbed.
match for like someone who isn't her. Basically, is the thing, because he's smart and she's stupid. Like, that's not. He'll solve the case for her.
Even each other out, then.
No. You need stupid and stupid. That's how it works, because they get on.
That's happening now in Stupid is stupid.
Yeah, so the bride is stabbed, and Hosho's like, "Oh my goodness, the inspector's going to show up and he's going to figure out who I am." And it appears the inspector showed up, but it is the deputy inspector who dresses exactly like the inspector, talks like the inspector, and is as stupid as the inspector.
See, he looks up to him because he's an equally stupid detective. Unfortunately, fortunately for Hosho, the inspector is out golfing and schmoozing with the boss. Bad for the inspector because his boss is bad at golf and he is good at golf. And I do like them cutting back to him fucking that entire thing up every time. Very good.
Oh, but yes, the way the police chief delivers that final one because he's going bravo on everything, and then he does his shot and he gets a hole in one, and the police chief is like, "Bravo, hole in one."
Yeah, just flat, like, fuck you, fucking, I'm never going golfing with you again, kind of thing. It's just like, But yeah, this other police detective is, I think he's like imitating his idol, the actual.
Yes. Because he takes it off at the end when he's leaving. So Kageyama incriminates Hosho.
Well, you were saying you were mad, like you fit to kill her, like outside just there earlier, and everyone fucking in the party saw you because you were being really loud in the hall saying it. She's like, "Shut the fuck up, Kageyama."
Yes, just solve it for me while I eat this meal.
Yeah, you had to pay attention because you get quite a short time frame to get your clues in here.
Yeah, all the clues are there, but boy, they come at you hard and fast.
You really gotta look. It's all about like did the butler do it? In a sense, the butler was covering for it, and his mannerisms were the key to figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yes, I caught the line saying who did it. I didn't catch it was the butler saying that line when everyone.
Well, the brother comes in and says, "What's wrong? Is coat away all right?" One saying, "Why did you say if that's your mother?" Like, or I don't know, she's like the matriarch on the opposite side, isn't it? Because we get this whole thing like, there were two families here, and they're both prestigious, but one of them husband passed away. She couldn't hold on to the estate, so we had this agreement where we would merge these two estates together. We all live under one big happy family roof in this mansion.
And the daughter is now marrying, of the guys who bailed out the other family, the daughter's now marrying not anyone from the other family, but like their accountant or something like that.
He's their consultant, I think it's described.
Consultant.
As.
Yeah.
He's now become the consultant for the other family. And I guess the suggestion is that the money woes are due to him.
Or that he worms his way into fucking money and steals shit, which is what your one's brother suspects him of doing, like marrying into the family to get money. Like, oh yeah, he just sidles up to people. Another fucking clue, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, because while he's not involved in the attempted murder, the wedding doesn't actually happen. And they break up during the next a few weeks later, because the final thing is a month later. So it's the woman from the other family who is related to this family, whose house this used to be, but now it's the other family's house because they paid for the inheritance tax. And the butler covered up the murder, which was with the carving knife.
Well, it wasn't even a murder; it was a mortal wounding.
Yes,
but you got better.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so all the clues are there, but yeah, they happen very fast. And then we end with the month later, the phone call that the youngest daughter has been kidnapped. That will lead us into our final mystery next week.
My gosh. There's no end to the shenanigans of this family.
The thing is for the character interactions. The mystery, it almost doesn't really matter. But it's nice that it does make sense when they.
I suppose just to bring this family into it, so they know who some of them are when we go and do this bigger mystery instead.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't need to like fuss about like who's connected to, because we already have all the main interconnection parts. So
it's also like Rick. Oh, she's like a corner too, because I can't change into my detective gear because I'm at a party, and then they're gonna I can't like let on, because it's like everyone here knows because they're family, friends, and family as well. That's like I'm like I set up keep it secret, but the student showed up doesn't know. I got to keep it under lid, so I got to solve this mystery on the sly.
Yeah, and
or make Kageyama do it, tell him on the slide, stop it for him.
When she says to everyone, like they're trying to go over to her because she's just been stabbed in the back and she's lying on the bed. She's like, we're preserving the scene, call an ambulance. And it's just like, oh yeah, because she's a police detective. Yeah, we can all say that. So when the other police detective showing up and he's like, you fucking did it because you collaborated with the killer. They didn't leave the room, and you're just like, all right, like out you go. The suspect.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, we get the TV CG recreations as well again in this episode of people climbing out windows and hopping onto balconies that don't exist.
Like you pulled up to the house, you should have seen if there was a window there or not. But yeah,
I had good fun with the series. I will look forward to the final episode next week. And that's it for now. We'll be back with more of the same next week. I will probably watch those remaining Go-Go Loser Rangers, despite what I was saying.
It's kind of a fascinating car crash.
You can't turn away, can you? It's just like, I want to see it. I'll watch it melts.
It feels a bit like that. Rightio, that's it. Ta-ra.
Bye.